Hi, everyone. So today I want to talk a little bit more about burnout because this is more and more common, and I see that in people who come to me. I hear that around me. I hear that through my friends, and this is really, this is the another epidemic that we see. I feel so. I want to talk to you about how it was with me. And last week I shared one of my first kind of stories of burnout. Even though it was never diagnosed, I kind of strongly feel that this was burnout of overworking and overdoing. And now I want to share, as promised, my second story of kind of almost going through burnout but avoiding it. And I'm sharing that because you might be at that point, and I want you to know that if you miss this point, this may get worse, right? Or it most certainly will get worse if you don't change anything, because life will not just change by itself if you don't act. So my second kind of thing was that I was working in this company, American company, and I was at first it was really slow because we were just starting the business in Europe. And over time, it became more and more impactful. I was able to build out the whole global program management office over the few years that I worked there. And I was, in senior leadership role, and I was building out the team in Amsterdam, in Singapore, and at last also in India. And it was really inspirational work, and I was very inspired to create that. I had big vision for this global kind of solution that we were bringing to our customers, that we can serve clients globally in the same amazing way with the values that the company was preaching and living and breathing. And at some point, this was kind of built out, and I felt like I had nothing more to challenge me, or I had no more impact to create. And now I see it this way. At the time, I didn't see it that way. I at the time I felt trapped. I felt like I wanted to create more, but I was told no. I wanted to implement something, but I was kind of told no, or I should kind of work with these people and maybe later. So all of this stuff, right? So I felt like I had a lot of drive inside of me to really move forward and shift the organization and create that massive change and transformation, and create this amazing place to work for everyone, not only for the folks in the US, but also for everyone in Europe and in Asia and in India, and to create that awareness of the different cultures that were there. And what was happening in the last year of my work there was that I was just kind of expected to just stay as I am, because I build out stuff, the team and everything, and I was just kind of going to keep delivering to the client's needs, but not shift and disrupt anything more. Because at first I was kind of building it out, so I was given a lot of room and space. It was very spacious for me, and I could grow. But at some point it was like, okay, just keep it flat, okay? And for me, it was just, no, I want to keep going. I want to keep changing. I want to keep evolving and creating and inspiring others and all that stuff, right? So that started to create this kind of, I was hitting the ceiling, I was hitting the walls, I would go this way and I would hit this and then that and all of it, right? And now I take full responsibility for my own behavior in that way, and my own kind of lack of maybe capability to actually influence that much. But there was also part of the company culture that it wasn't allowed, right? So I kept being like this fly, try harder, and maybe you will break through the wall, but this cannot happen ever, you know. So my first program was called Break Out of Your Golden Cage, because that's how I kind of felt. I was having this big title and a good salary, and I had a great team, and I felt like, you know, I should just be happy, right? But there was a very big drive in me that wouldn't allow to just be happy, and I wanted to still create more. So what it created in me was that I started to feel a lot of frustration, and it was increasing. It was like this boiling frog effect, right? When you put the frog in a hot water, it will jump out, but if you slowly raise temperature of the water, the frog will boil. So that's how it was with my frustration. Every day it was just a little bit more, just a little bit more, and was almost not noticeable, but I felt it, you know, in every fiber of my body. And towards the end, what I started to feel, and this is what I want to share, is that I was talking to my employee, a senior program manager. We had great relationship, and it was all good. The circumstances were great. We were having great connection, and she would tell me something about, you know, a process that wouldn't work, or that we were not taken into account for something, you know, as a global team. And I started to feel like this really, you know, a lot of energy coming up to my like throat, that I would feel like I'm gonna like burst and like just blow up, right? Like with anger, that I started to feel like this anxiety and anger coming up, like up to my neck. And I noticed that, right? So I was very conscious of my body, and I was like, this is really not good, because why am I feeling that strong emotion to what she's telling me? And I love the person, right? So it's not that I don't like her and she's telling me something I don't like. She's telling the story about something else. And this is when I really felt like if I don't change something, it's gonna blow up, you know, and it's only me who will actually suffer from it. The company will, you know, hire someone else, bring another person in my place, you know, whoever that is, they will just keep going, right? But it will be my life. It will be my health. It will be my body. It will be me who will need to deal with it, with what happens after, right? And I got really scared of that, but very conscious. And I also was like, you know, I need to take responsibility of myself. And I remember I started to raise it to, I think, HR. Before, I was even like calling employee assistance program for myself. You know, I was explaining how I feel, and they said I need to talk to HR. And I was still very much worried about it, right? That if I start talking to HR, they will use it against me, right? There was no trust fully in that. And you know, that can happen, of course. So I'm not telling you to go and talk to HR. I'm just saying that, you know, create your own plan. I also remember I went to the doctor. I was asking, you know, hey, am I crazy? Is this, you know, I'm in this great company. I have, you know, good leadership. I have this, you know, good stuff going on. Why do I feel this way, right? But when I got deeper, it was very obvious that I was given a lot of responsibility in a way, but nothing that I could actually go do. Okay. So that's I think it's number 2 reason for burnout, that you're given a big role, but you're not able to do much with that role, right? You're just given the kind of title, and when you're needed, they will kind of pull your name out of the hat. Hey, you go do it. But if you're trying to do more and influence, it's like, no, this is not how high you can jump, right? So, and this really, like, so outside we are like, okay, so I can, you know, I can be this leader. And of course they, you know, like, you're being told that you can do it and you can influence everything, but inside you go like, but I cannot really do much, you know. I keep being told no, or kind of no, but like, you know, it's kind of being put back on my table, even if there's a trouble, right? So all of this like starts to feel like you're crazy, like you're going crazy. And by the way, I really heard that from a lot of people also in that company, that this feeling of like disconnect from what's kind of out here and being told and what's happening inside, that you kind of know that it's not true. It was really real. And but people, you know, when they don't talk to each other, they feel like, am I going crazy? Like, is this like true? Or why am I feeling this way, right? Maybe just me. So I'm saying that because, you know, at some point at the final step, I thought, you know, okay, I would love to take sabbatical, right? I would love to take a break, because I'm sure that we can sort it out and I can still work in that company later, but I really need to take a break, because if not, I will seriously hit a wall. So I was not even thinking of doing different roles inside the company. And by the way, at the time I got like 15% increase. So it was, you know, like the money was there, but I couldn't, you know, go for anything else. I was not eventually able even to grow anymore, even if I were to change roles. That was a little bit too late for me already, because I did not have that energy. So the final kind of straw was, I was talking to HR about it, and I absolutely collapsed. Like, I started crying, which, you know, I would never cry in front of anyone at work. Like, I was always super professional, but that was it. You know, I was just done. And I remember we then started to talk about my exit plan, and because the company couldn't, at the time at least, they preferred to lose me than to allow the sabbatical. So that was also kind of, you know, okay, I get it, you know, I get the policy of the company, but, you know, I thought that this could be managed, right? But that's, I think, even better that it didn't, it did happen this way, because then I could kind of go and move and do my own thing, which is actually my life purpose. But, you know, at the time it was like, I chose to save myself and step out fully. So negotiate my exit package, just get out, for my sake, for my health. And I moved out, you know, it was March 2020, by the way, so not the best time. And yeah, it was just the right thing. And I want to also mention one last thing, because in February that year, 2020, I went on my last trip to the US, and I had a chance to say goodbyes, but I also managed to talk to a lot of leadership, right? Mainly, you know, sales leadership, but also different, you know, a lot of different heads, VPs, area VPs, executives, and many of them offered me a job. They were literally telling me, Paulina, come back, take a break, you know, go sailing, because I decided to go sailing for 6 months. Go sailing and then come back in 6 months and you get a job with me. And really, seriously, it was 5 people that came, that kind of came with that job offer while I was there, right? So even that was like, oh my God. So there was so much opportunity for me, but I got myself to this place where I had literally no energy to act. And you know, I was really grateful. Thank you. Who knows, maybe, right? At the time, I thought maybe I will come back to one of these roles later. But eventually I went sailing. I had my space. I had my recovery. I felt really, you know, back to myself. I did also my own growth, coaching, development, all of it. And I decided to do something very different, right? In the mindset of, I can do whatever I want. I don't have to, you know, grab these opportunities out of scarcity or survival mode, right? Because I want to be safe. So I'm sharing that, hoping that this will maybe resonate with you, that if you are in a situation where you feel your body is kind of showing you the tense, that you cannot sleep, maybe that's some of my clients come to me because they cannot sleep. They are really heavy with everything on their shoulders. They are kind of cash rich, time poor. They have all the money, but they have no life. They cannot take time off. They don't go on vacation. They maybe their spouse is cheating on them because they are never there. Maybe they are feeling guilty because they are not a good parent, because they are never there, you know, and so on and so forth. and the body will show you the signs, and if you ignore them, it may end up in an actual burnout and collapsing, or maybe a heart attack, or you name it, whatever, right? Anxiety, panic attacks, they happen, and they happen more and more. So I hope to inspire you so that you can take charge of your own life, because it is your own life. You are the only one responsible, because guess what? You are the only one that will have to fix it and deal with it and recover from it if it were to happen. So don't allow it to blow up. Act before, take care of yourself, and let me know if you want to chat about it, and I'd be happy to help you if I'm the right person for it. Maybe it's not time for a coach, maybe it's a time for a therapist. That happened to me a few times as well, when a client comes and it turns out that they actually need a therapy, and I wouldn't take a client like that on. So if you need to talk to anyone about that, I'd be happy to support you. And thanks for now. Have a great day and a week, and see you next time.